listening to MarceyLynn once again on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
Hey, thanks, Harry, for the introduction. I appreciate it. Today is going to be a very educational, fun show. We are going to learn something new or old to some of y'all that know, or just add in something to your life to make it even more inspirational. And I have the beautiful and, of course, talented Miss Sherry Antoine. Is it Antoine?
You
Antoine?
had it just right,
Antoine?
Julie Sherry Antoine.
Because I always look at that because I always want to say Antoinette because I'm so used to seeing used to seeing the TTE.
Happened a
Um,
lot, yeah.
and I need
Or
you
I'll
guys
get
to
Antonio.
oh listen, yeah, they don't even read the like they just go, oh Sherry Antonio. But I really like that. That's really it's just beautiful. And
And it's a
she
pleasure
is
to be
just
here with you.
when I tell you this Afro Crowd Wikipedia initiative, and I see they have a Wiki Caribbean, the Caribbean. What's it's LO, right? Is it LO?
Lead organizer.
Yeah. LO. Okay. Yeah, because I know that's a new term. We always have all these different, but lead organizer because we're in this organizing state right now
Yeah.
where we have to work. Listen, we get organized. People are coming for us. They're really looking for us, trying to figure out, okay, what can I do to help? But I really appreciate you taking out the time to spend with me today. And I'm going to definitely get all I can get. And you're going to be coming some more. I'm going to need you to come more after the events. And I just really think that it is important for us to take the time and we're going to go through the questions and make sure that we get almost all the questions. Most of you know I do reverse interview. So, of course, I put Miss Sherry to work because that's what I do. And a lot of times I do that, Sharon, I'll tell you that because I know the people that I'm interviewing and I don't want it to be about what I know. So the reverse interview always works very well because if you go get interviewed by anybody else in New Haven Independent, they're going to ask you the questions. I'm going to get your questions. So you can go into, come with me. Come with me. So I really want to explain who you are before we get into it. And then we'll go into your questions because I know people are like Afro crowd. There's some people that probably don't know, but I think most of us, cultural the way we are, we share all our little tidbits with everyone. So let's introduce Ms. Sherry Antoine to
Why, thank
the
you.
world.
Very nice to meet you all. Very honored to be here. Very glad that I was asked. And I'm just so excited to be a part of the community just around this time where we finally get to really. I think we're in a space in history where we can all be connected without the 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 natural borders keeping us apart. Look at us, we're here, we're talking in very different rooms far away from
Mhm.
each other, but here we are connected um, online together. And that's one of the things that we try to make the most of with afrocrowd, which is an initiative that was created to improve um, knowledge and content creation by
Mhm.
people of African descent,
Mhm.
especially also of women too, because when it was created, we were sorely lacking in technology spaces. Um, to um, Not only to improve knowledge about our communities, but also in some way impact our communities for the better using that knowledge, creating opportunities. And
Mhm.
over time, we've been around since 2015 when our founder, Alice Backer, who was a Haitian lawyer who noticed that there weren't too many Haitians or women, involved
It's a little
in the
different.
community. Not just that, but just seeing, not just seeing many of us, period,
Mhm.
us in the general sense, people of African descent, involved in creating information, knowledge, and so forth on wiki platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And I joined her about 4 months into that back in 2015. And I was only supposed to be there for a few months. I have a background. My background is my focus has been women and girls of the African diaspora. And I
Mm-hmm.
was the chair of the New York branch of a group called Diaspora African Women's Network. And she and I were both a part of that group, and we met on the listserv.
Know something?
And it was a space
Connecting.
created for us to encourage one another. That's another thing in general. Women, especially Black women, were missing in a lot of professional spaces too.
Of
And
course.
sometimes instead of being there for each other, we were there to kind of be pitted against each other. So
Mm-hmm.
this group was created with professional women in mind. My
Mm-hmm.
background, I was a campaign organizer for Obama. I also
Mm-hmm.
had a good opportunity to be a part of the White House uh, in one of their offices that was
Mm-hmm.
outward facing towards. Um, uh, it was the presidential office of
Mm-hmm.
that handled all the letters and gifts that came into the White House, and I had a
Oh, wow.
chance to do
Okay.
that. So did a lot of work since the beginning of my career in Connecticut, where I was at the state legislature as a press secretary before I went to grad school.
Mm-hmm.
So all of that to say is the bulk of what I've done has been working in public outreach, in
Mm-hmm.
working with um, um, just the public in general.
Mm-hmm.
And it feeds into a passion that I have for my community. I grew up in Connecticut, though
Mm-hmm.
my family came to America when I was a little girl coming from the Caribbean. And I wanted, and I've always been taught to find a way to give back to your community, benefit your community in some way, regardless of what you're doing, you know? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so, long story short is, and I don't want it to make it a long story, is um, connecting with Alice at the beginning was just to learn something new and something I liked, which is technology. I was doing digital writing at the time in New
Mm-hmm.
York. Um, but also finding a way to continue to work on things that deal with women and girls, especially in the African diaspora, and
Mm-hmm.
finding a way to use my skills and knowledge and growing them in a way that can continue to feed into that. So that's where my passion comes in. But
Mm.
people come into the wiki community from so many other angles, you know.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Um, I clearly stayed with the program.
Literally.
I was just supposed to be for
Literally
6 months,
own
and
brand.
then
Own brand. So wait, I'm gonna go here and check this out. But yeah, see, that's what happens. We don't know what we're going for.
you
We
never
really don't.
know.
We don't know. Like I went to go start a morning show, and here I am 4 years later, still on the radio. You know, so
Hey, good for you.
that's
Way to
how it
go.
goes.
You
I always
know?
saw myself on a jazz station because of my voice, and I ended up being a community liaison because literally it's putting people together like you do. You know, I
Well, do
really
you
like
know
the
that I was also in the
concept. The
jazz
concept is
community?
amazing.
Oh, thank you. Yes, and I've been blessed to be able to grow um, some of the identity of afroCROWD, since almost the beginning, and
Mhm.
so eventually we grew what I did, and from coming in really as just as someone who's going to be working on the program side of things to
Yes.
helping to engineer the programs, and then, of
Mhm.
course, eventually becoming the executive director and helping to grow it from, we started as a meetup and now we are, over time, we grew into a program that has connections all over the world. We've held events in Africa, in the Caribbean, throughout Europe, um, and of
Mhm.
course in the United States. And that happens because people come together and we work together. I'm happy to say that we've worked with galleries, libraries, archives,
That's
museums,
it.
institutions like the United Nations,
Mm-hmm, hmm.
to grassroots organizations,
Definitely.
to neighborhood programs at libraries, to even continuing what we do throughout the pandemic, putting
Hmm.
together an international outreach that reached that um, actually set a stage for something. We uh, helped with other Wikipedians throughout the world,
Hmm.
especially in Sweden and other partners that you would never think would align, but we all had an interest in bringing people together during that very alienating time,
Hmm.
to have the first 24-hour editathon. An editathon is a hackathon. I don't know if you
Oh,
think of a marathon where you keep going, you keep running,
oh my goodness, that's
until you reach
awesome.
somewhere.
That's such a great, like, it's an amazing idea. I can't wait for people to understand it. Um, it's just when it comes to the diaspora, I mean, I am a person who went to a village that was trained by Malidoma, and unfortunately, I never got to meet him, Malidoma Samay, and
Mhm,
um, East Coast Village is up in Bly Hollow, up in upstate New York. No running water. That type of
mhm.
place. No telephones. They're a little more modernized now. They have like, literally, when you go there, your phone doesn't work. There's one phone in the lodge, the cabin, and most people have like, we sleep wherever. We sleep in the cabins. We sleep outside. We sleep wherever, and we have our fire pits. But the best thing about it is that we have our rituals. We have our female divine shine, our ancestor house. We have all that good stuff on the land. So people don't understand how important those things are, and they always, of course, get scared of it. But in this instance, with what you guys are doing, well, I'm just gonna give me a surprise for executive or director from, okay, I want to do this. And then what was your surprise? Because your question is, what's something about afroCROWD's mission that you didn't fully understand until you stepped into the role of executive director? And I like that question because, we think we're going to go in there and it's going to be a regular executive director job. But every single executive director of every single organization is very different.
I didn't expect it to be. Remember, when I connected with Alice, it
Hmm.
was to learn something. I thought I was learning some new skills. They had
Hmm.
something called training the trainers, but she was
Hmm.
also looking for someone with my background. I'm an organizer, but I also have an MPA in international management.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to connect, and I was on the board of the Internet Society in New York at the time.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
I was also doing digital writing, like I mentioned.
Yeah, yeah.
um, so, and had this interest in community organizing. So, um, I don't think she. I don't think when we connected that we realized that it was going to be this relationship that allowed us to connect with people all over the world.
Hmm.
I don't think we expected that it would go from this meetup, or that she expected for it to go from this meetup to being something that 10 years later would still be going strong.
Isn't that
Um,
something?
but also, I didn't, for me specifically, I didn't expect to just have such. I didn't expect to get so hooked on what we were doing, you know? It takes a lot of work, and anyone doing anything nonprofit or
Hmm.
community related knows that it does take
Hmm.
a lot of hours that you don't
Hmm.
expect to give.
Oh,
Um, and it definitely pulls at your uh, at your different hats, because you wear a lot of hats when you work on initiatives, and you have a tiny
definitely,
little bit
definitely.
of, yeah, you've got the people you work with, they need a lot of passion, you know?
Mm. Well, listen, that goes right into your next question. What decision have you made that went against? You have to go against conventional advice because everybody is different, especially
Yes.
as a director of an organization that is mostly, not in front of each other. It's weird because
Yes.
um,
Oh, right. Yeah.
it changes. It really changes things because we don't have. it was before COVID when we stopped associating, because we text before we call. Is that something? So I even
I,
say we like that.
I
So what
think
was your non-conventional or your against conventional? I don't even know what conventional means advice, but we'll go with that.
that's a very, I like the way you think. Yeah, what is convention? It's what we were doing was very non-conventional until everyone was
Hmm.
doing it during the pandemic.
Yeah. Is this
From
something?
the time you start working on for anyone who works in technology,
Hmm.
um, and interfaces primarily with technological platforms,
Hmm.
you find yourself not knowing what the feet or the hands of or or the context of the people
Oh, sorry,
that you
you read
spend
my face, right?
the most time with. And um so when like I said, I was part of the Internet Society on the board in New York.
Hmm.
And so we were doing that on a regular basis for every meeting that we had. We
Hmm.
used Zoom a lot before people were using it for
Hmm.
everything like we are right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I thought it was so clunky, you know. I mean,
I'm sick of it. There's 100, just like 1,000 people on this one meeting. What? And there's only two people that can talk. What?
and but it became, obviously, so when the pandemic started, this was old hat for us.
Hmm.
And it was just a matter of, and obviously I'm talking about the wiki community, but that I
Yes.
discovered Zoom during this other um involvement.
Hmm.
And now it's just, just a regular part of life,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
um
Yes. Oh, we
and
can
it
pre-record on
changed.
Zoom.
But that's a
Sound
part of
familiar?
it too. It's also, technologists, we look at things, we like technology, but I think a lot of us have a healthy understanding of the dangers of it too,
Yeah. Right.
um, and of course, of being left behind by it. The digital divide
Mhm.
has been around for a long time.
It has.
Yeah. And a big part of at least what I care about, and a lot of us
Mhm.
care about, who want to work in the community,
Mhm.
is ensuring that, let's forget about being digitally literate, right? And that's the basic,
Mhm.
but also being left behind. Okay, so whenever you go on a Google or any browser,
Mhm.
or you go now on your phone or use AI or something like that,
Yeah. AI
or
is
just
just too much.
ask a question.
AI is too much for me. So I'm still trying. Why?
Exactly. you know and that's a fundamental question, because you've
Mm.
been using AI for years and you didn't realize it.
No, isn't that something that's been on there? I'm like, oh, so that's what this was. Now you gave a name to it, huh?
Yeah, and it's a fundamental part of our lives. And
Yes.
but if someone wants to find information about Tracy, right?
Mhm.
And is it all
Mhm.
right if I call you Tracy?
Mhm.
Oh, I called you Tracy.
That's
Marcy.
okay. Listen, it just happens that way. Usually, I have
We
the
couldn't
fight
have
with
found out.
the name of the show is MarceyLynn once again, and I always say don't forget the E, and they're like, well, where's the ego after the C? And everybody, I said no, my mom wanted to make sure, and I had to put the MarceyLynn together because I got tired of, and I was Jones, all the Marcy Joneses that were getting in trouble. So I made it MarceyLynn Jones. I'm like, I'm I'm in trouble, but I don't get caught.
I'm sorry,
But,
Marcy. I'm
but
Sherry
see,
Ann, by the
that's the
way.
kind of people that you have to deal with on Zoom.
I was thinking Marcy Teagues, and for some reason that became Tracy anyway. So I
It's all right.
apologize.
It's all right, honey.
But
It's all right.
but what I was saying is that
Mm-hmm.
whenever you're looking for information, you'll go to Google or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the thing is a lot of times there's a lot of holes. There's people being left out. A lot of times it's people look like us, or even if it wasn't that, if you're absolutely not involved in the telling of your own story, or or not even that either. Let's even just go to the basics. If you're not a part of the creation of history at all, what's accounting for um, uh, the full story? Let's say we're writing about I don't know, Connecticut history, right? And the only people writing that story are those who understand how to use the technology to do so. You're a book. You're the creator, an author of a book, right? And your book goes into the bookseller and or the library, and there are some people who will find your book and read it or buy it, and they are going to be the ones to bear that information and carry it forward, right? Now, this book that you created and spent all this time on, those people will see it, but how about the story that they'll read when they go online about the same topic, or see in social media somewhere? Guess which one is going to carry more, not weight necessarily, but more. The influence will be greater for those who are able to see that information, right?
Yes.
One of the things that I and my siblings did growing up, and this is going to date me a little bit, is we were nerdy kids. And, my parents bought Encyclopedia Britannica. And
hold on, wait a minute. I'm at my mom's house. Do you see that?
Hey!
Do you see that? She still has them.
Oh, there they are.
So what are you saying again? Now, see, this is the second time I had to whip those out on a show.
Hey, it must be a reason. I love that. But you know that Wikipedia is one of the reasons that it went out of business, because people were going online to find that same information. That, by the way, one of the things I loved about the encyclopedia when I was a kid was I could just go and just like look things over, learn things. They had pictures. They had. It didn't matter what I was interested in. I could just read about it, find images about it, and but also on another note, that's just how people knew about the world too. You go, you look it up, and what it says in there, you just take for granted. Okay, that's how it is. The same happens when you go online. The information you find. Hopefully, most people will know to be more critical about what they see. And again, nothing will remain stagnant. Things change all the time. But one thing about
Ever changing,
Wikipedia,
everything.
exactly. And the thing about Wikipedia is, if you see something that's off, you can fix it, right? You can change it or if someone died, for example, like when Prince passed away, his article, will be one of the highest read articles on
Yes, at that
Wikipedia,
time.
which has, by the way, like millions of, hundreds of thousands of articles, millions of views, the 6th most viewed website online. That includes, Yahoo and Facebook and all that. So that's a lot of influence. So if you don't know how to participate in that, it is going to influence you and culture and everything around you, and you don't really participate in it, or at least understand what's happening there. You know that you can fix that information. You know that you can add to it. When things were in a book or encyclopedia, traditionally it would stay there until the next volume or the next
Addition or
iteration.
addendum.
Exactly, yeah. But now it's an organism. It's a living organism made of people all over the world that can fix it and change it.
I've gone in and fixed my Wikipedia. I go in there and go, who did that? Because they always bring up all of my like the fights that I fought or rallies that I ran in, and I have all those pictures. The Afro pictures. I call them my fist up pictures. Tons of those. I'm like, but what about everything else I do?
Right, yeah.
So every once in a while, I just go in there and okay, I did this, and the other thing. But it's so good to even have this, like the whole idea of this initiative is, um, let's explain to people, okay, right now I know nothing about afrocrowd. What on earth is afrocrowd? What are you talking about? What's Wikimedia? What are we talking about? Wikipedia? What are we talking about? This is how I play with all my people, because I say to you, I'm gonna take this information to the seniors. I can't take anything but this conversation that we're having to the seniors. They are not going to go on their phone and try to search for anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would you talk to the senior? Like, I always tell people to Google themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Start there. So,
Right.
I was gonna say the hardest conversation question that you're asking me, but to me, that's like a hard question. How would you transition someone and explain to how much easier it is? Get your reading glasses, you can get a lot more out of it. How would you pretty much let a senior that refuses know that the resources from AfroCrowd Wikipedia are made for them? And my suggestion would be to have them Google themselves.
That's a good suggestion. Another good suggestion is also uh, one of the things that we actively do
Mm-hmm.
is AfroCrowd is like the welcoming committee to the world's largest encyclopedia that's made of people.
Mm-hmm.
So people um, who platform online, using a
Mm-hmm.
platform online, that platform being a website that on its face is a website, but
Mm-hmm.
under it, I mean, um, you ever see a tree below it are roots? You
Mm-hmm.
think of a glacier, below it is a lot more than what you see on top.
Yes.
Well, this site is on its face a
Mm-hmm.
place that you can visit on the internet, but it's
Mm-hmm.
created of one of the largest volunteer communities in the world
Mm-hmm.
um, that create and share free knowledge for anyone who wants it at any time, day or night, and can update it, change it, use it
Mm-hmm.
for different things. You might see something on Wikipedia, for example, a photo,
Mm-hmm.
even audio or a video, and
Yeah.
it's in a magazine or a newspaper. Um, God bless you.
Allergies coming. Okay, sorry. Thank you.
And AfroCrowd is like a welcoming committee for people of any origin, but
Mm-hmm.
especially at its core, people of African descent to this world. We connect with people who are interested. We do trainings. We create videos online that are free. We put them on YouTube because that is a place that people are more familiar with who are just coming into the community,
Mm-hmm.
that talk all about their questions. So it tells who we are,
Mm-hmm.
what Wikipedia is, the layout of the trainings that we do can be found there.
Mm-hmm.
We do training on how to edit Wikipedia,
Mm-hmm.
how to even read Wikipedia, to understand what you're looking at, the
Yes.
different elements that are in it, and the
Mm-hmm.
powerful tool that it can be, that could be easily overlooked. Because, like I said, for most people, it's a website, but
Mm-hmm.
it really, in fact, is a very large community, and
Mm-hmm.
everything you see on it, um, and not only on it, but associated with it and coming out of it many times, is created by people all over the world with a vested interest,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's as a hobby or
Mm-hmm.
as a passion,
Yes.
um, to
As a goal.
as a goal to share information with the world
Yeah.
and keep it accurate as much as
Right.
possible.
It's such a great concept. So, I mean, like the
Well,
whole thing is groundbreaking, but you're behind the strategy question is there a Wikimedia project or initiative that AfroCrowd participated in that you think really was flying low, but was actually groundbreaking? And you know what the thing about it is? All of it. All of it.
oh, thank you.
because people just don't know. They don't know that it exists. And I think that would be a great resource for people to have on. Like, is there an afrocrowd application?
There's an afrocrowd.org. So you can go to
That's all you really
afrocrowd
need. Mhm,
on any browser or your phone, wherever. Go to
mhm,
afrocrowd.org, and it can be your starting point to a lot of this.
mhm,
We go to our About page, and it'll lead you to our Wikipedia page. We have a program page as well as a Wikipedia general page that will
mhm,
give you information, but also we have events that happen throughout the year. We partner with great organizations like the Juneteenth Coalition, like we um,
mhm,
done, and we actually just started holding events in Connecticut.
mhm,
Um, we're very active in New York City, where there's going to
mhm.
be a Wikipedia enthusiast conference coming
Whoa!
um, for the first time in 8 years, I believe it is,
Wow.
to New York City.
Mhm,
And also, we have events all over the world. The community does.
mhm, mhm,
It's
mhm.
also called the Wikimedia Movement because
Yes.
we believe that free knowledge can be a very powerful game changer for a lot of places. Um, we've partnered with Columbia University in the past for
Okay.
different things. Uh, there's a great project that came um, out of there that, but also is in is expanding. Not just at Columbia, but it was also already at work in communities in Africa and other
Mhm,
places to get uh, Wikipedia offline,
mhm.
and so that you can take it to places where folks don't have easy access to the internet.
Yeah.
And something like that is really, if you curate the information, can be used at schools, and
Mhm.
it can also be
Definitely.
used, and it has been used by, for example, doctors. If you're
Mhm.
in a humanitarian situation,
Yeah.
um, we've had um, professionals from
Mhm,
all over the world who have added information, up to date information, and
mhm.
information that, protected information that could be
Mhm.
used by doctors and nurses in
Of course.
humanitarian and disaster situations
Mhm.
where you get books or access to the internet to help in those situations. There's
Mhm.
something called Wiki in a Box, Internet in a Box, that
Mhm.
allows people to do that. And it's not just Wikipedia;
It's that
those
little, yeah, the little
tools,
box, right? Mhm.
exactly, those
Travel
tools.
box.
It actually looks. I have one, but I don't have one with me right now.
It's like a little, looks like a
It's
little
it
cell
looks
phone,
like a
right?
cell phone. Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like a cell phone.
Yeah.
That's innovation coming from the Wikimedia movement and
Mhm.
community. Another thing, and there's also a version called Kiwix, which is more educationally focused.
Yeah, I saw that.
Um, right, right. Oh, you did.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah. Mhm, mhm,
Another great innovation is we have been working with folks concerning AI and understanding AI, and
yes.
a lot of the information that is being used in machine learning
Mhm,
um, does come from communities with open source information, and
mhm.
Wikipedia being one of the chief ones, if not the chief one.
Yes, yes, yes.
Um, OpenAI, you've heard ChatGPT,
Mhm,
but there's been various forms of machine learning
mhm,
where, or using chatbots, for example,
mhm. Yeah.
that we've been using for years, and they're integrated into our society. Um, Now, the interventions and the ways that machines understand the world around us comes from
Mhm.
us, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Now,
They're
if we're
man-made
not
like us.
exactly, and
Mhm.
that also comes with the biases and the also um, and the issues that we as humans, deal with in society.
Yes.
So. Um, that's also another reason why communities need to be a part of creating information and need to be a part of understanding that information. But
Getting the
also,
information from the horse. Getting the
what's that?
information from the horse. Like, we need everybody's input that has the knowledge. Because if there's one
Exactly.
place we can go to get it, I don't know if you know, like, I literally work with 11 different types of organizations, and I literally have 7 of them that are nonprofit. And the thing about it is, I stopped counting because a lot of them, I'm trying to
Wow.
find others that are doing the same thing so we could put them all together. Why are we stretching ourselves out? The thing about it is that, like, is this a resource where we can just go and say, okay, how many organizations doing this in the city? And it's great because it's like kind of like Siri, where you can ask her a question. 9 times out of 10, she don't understand you, but but it's even better than that. We need to be able to take this information with us everywhere we go. I can see like
I agree.
an afroCROWD Wikipedia phone, or whatever we need, and you don't have to have internet because everything's on it already. You know.
Mhm. And it's I like the way you put it, a Wikipedia phone. you know, um, I think you're thinking of the internet in a box I was just talking about, which is
Mhm,
actually on something called a Raspberry Pi, and
mhm,
that's a
mhm,
kind of tool
mhm.
device that you can use.
Right.
But I like that. When we use our cell phones, and we have access to just so much. Um, but people in the community were not just thinking of those who have the access. What about
Mhm.
those who don't? Um,
That's
During the
true.
pandemic, I'm sorry, I tend to talk over sometimes, so
No, no, no,
please
no,
just
no. I said I'm agreeing with you. So if you hear me seem like I'm cutting you off, I'm just agreeing with you. You know. So
thank you.
you'll get used to me
Um,
because we'll be doing this often. I'll be
oh,
thinking
yay, I like that
it's like
thought.
we have like maybe all the questions that we got to go over next show.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Yes, yes, yes. But
Um, but I think that one of the things that I was, when you say surprised, one of the things that surprised me about the community, the Google, the excuse me, about the wiki community is the ways that so many people come from so many other places. We've done things with Google, we've done
mhm,
things with Facebook, but we've
mhm,
also done things with local um, uh, uh, computer people who have a background in development who
mhm,
enjoy gamifying issues.
mhm.
So, creating ways to solve problems. And because they just love technology, this is a technological community that
Yes,
welcomes just everyday people to participate in technology in
yes.
whatever ways they come with. And that's the true spirit of when you go to a hackathon. When I went to hackathons
Mhm.
when um, when I was first entering this part of my interest in technology. I
I
was
got you.
part of a hackathon put together by a young Black woman who wanted to use her skills to connect with other technologists
Mhm.
to come up with ways to solve problems for our communities.
Yes.
So you ever have when my first experience at a hackathon was her coming to her event that was in New York City,
Mhm.
where a hackathon is kind of like I'm the proud to say that a million years ago I ran a marathon. And I finished it. It was for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society,
Mhm, mhm,
and I learned so much about life running that race.
mhm.
And the woman who you look at now could not do it right now, but I did uh, so many years
How
ago.
about marching all 5 barrels for something? I don't even remember what it was in the rain. The things that we do.
Yeah, the things that we do. Also, the things that we do just to see if we can too. um, but what I was trying to say about that is that
Mhm.
when you run a marathon or when you run a long race or when you do something that you're just trying to stick with, um, something that keeps you going is other
Mhm.
people around you.
Yeah.
Not just the goal. The goal is a part of it, but what keeps you going, you know? Um,
Mhm.
and sometimes it really is, you know, what motivation you're getting from around you.
Mhm.
A hackathon is like a marathon, but with a technological end in mind. So
Mhm.
let's say you're trying to develop a program for something, or
Yes.
you're trying to create something, um, and you only have your idea, maybe your skill set
Mhm.
in mind
Mhm.
that, to come to that problem, right?
Yes.
This hackathon will continue until you feel that you've reached your goal, right?
Oh, I get it. Okay.
So
All right.
so think of it that way, is that people coming together to try
Mhm.
and cross a finish line of some sort. Sometimes that'll
So I
take
call it
all
filling
night.
the cup. Filling the cup.
Exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
Mhm.
So a hackathon can take all night. And that's exactly what we did and expected to do. So we stayed in a place in Harlem that was it was part of um, a WeWork, I believe, at the time. It's
Mhm.
an office space that you can rent out, and we rented
Okay.
out. She rented out the whole floor,
Okay.
and groups, different um, companies and groups came together.
Mhm.
People came, volunteered their time, and it was a contest to solve some problems. So you state a problem in
Oh.
the community, like, and there's a point. Don't worry, I'm getting to it.
Oh, no, no, no. I understand.
So you state what the problem is, and a problem could be, okay, how do we get more of our kids to college? How do we
Mhm.
help? How do we work with mothers um, who cannot who are young mothers with full-time jobs and need extra help taking care of young babies while they have
Mhm.
the job, um,
Mhm.
but not necessarily the means for childcare,
Of
or
course.
so many other kinds of very thought-provoking things that we can
Of course.
tackle together, and finding a way to use technology to hack at those skills, to
Yes.
hack at those problems. So
Mhm.
that's what a hackathon can do too, you know?
Mhm.
And my first impression of a hackathon was this, that it can solve problems in our communities.
That's great.
And so what you do is it's like a potluck. You bring what you have to the
Mhm.
problem. You may not be a technologist at all. You may be good at marketing, or
Mm.
you may be a good ideas person or a good
Mhm.
writer. You may not be a person who's good at developing, or you know,
Mhm.
but you may be
Mhm.
somebody who has a background in the community that you're trying to serve.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or it could be the opposite side. You are a developer, and you are a person who creates robots or software, or you are a person that understands code and how to use it to create programs, right?
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
You
Yeah.
bring those groups of people together who've decided they're going to tackle a problem together, and
Yes.
have the goal, the very near and present goal of, we need to finish this by morning, you
Yes.
know,
Mhm. We're up all
and
night.
exactly, and you bring food, you bring music,
Coffee.
and blam, you have a hackathon for or the one that I first experienced, and man, did it blow my mind. So fast forward to this community, the Wiki community,
Mhm.
and we have hackathons, we have what's called an editathon, and it
Oh,
has a similar heart. Editathons are usually at least 3 hours long, although
okay.
since we've gone online, we've changed things to make it a little bit shorter so people can, swallow it a little bit better.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
and it's training on how to close knowledge gaps, training on how to add images and audio and video and other things to specific areas that lack information online.
Yeah, yeah.
Or it could also be the other end, adding more data about
Mhm.
something. Data
Yeah.
could be, okay, how many people, Black women, are involved in this field? Who are
Mhm.
they? Where are they? What have they done?
Mhm.
What's missing? are there images of them that are missing? We had a program with Adobe where we worked with artists to and the Wikimedia Foundation, who
Mhm.
is, by the way, the Wikimedia Foundation is what uh, are think of it as the foundation that helps keep Wikipedia and all its sister projects going, and the
Yeah, I see
communities.
that. Mhm.
Mhm. So we connected with them to help close visual gaps of people
Mhm.
who are missing online, who
Mhm.
are people of African descent, Black people who have done amazing things, but no one knows what they look like, and they're gone, and
Okay.
we don't have a license for any of their images. There's just so many issues like that, so many knowledge issues. What do we know? What don't we know? What's missing? Who can help? Who has this piece of the potluck?
Yeah,
Um,
and it's so great that it's like everybody working together so it can be correct and factual information.
Right.
You
And
know?
also, one important part that I need to mention is that it breaks
Mhm.
biases. There's uh, you know, you own if you help tell your own story,
Mhm.
you can also help to fix some of the misunderstandings or some of the
Mhm.
on purpose and not about the information that is out there, what's
Yes.
missing, who's missing, and what
Mhm.
we can do to improve that information. Um, there's just so many gaps. It can also be linguistic. We have programs in so many languages. For
Mm.
example, Yoruba, Spanish,
Mhm.
Arabic. So many different languages spoken
It's
on
happening
Wikipedia.
like that. I made a phone call the other day to one of the utility companies, and each one of the languages they had, they were obviously saying this one is one, this one's two, but they were saying it in the language. So I'm going, oh, where's English? So sometimes
Right.
you're waiting to hear English.
And you know what? Do you know that there's over 250 different kinds?
I believe you.
Um, but the thing is, obviously English is the largest,
Mm-hmm.
and then I believe it's followed by, interestingly enough, German
Mm-hmm.
and is the second largest
Really?
wiki, but I might be wrong. I can double check. But the point is that if there is a gap in one language and you don't speak that language and you're some in another country somewhere, um, you can still gain access to that knowledge
Mm-hmm.
because there's been so much effort to make sure that you are able to access that, whether it's in your language or
Mm-hmm.
that's available at all and can be translated.
Okay.
Um, so I think I'll stop there because there's just a huge world that I get kind of carried away
Good.
talking
I know.
about,
And you know
but
what it
I
is?
just get it.
Like I said to you, this is your 55 minutes, and you're going to have a couple more to go with that. Because the information and the things that you guys are doing are so well needed. They help us, a person like me, trying to get the principles out there to work all year long instead of just 7 days in December. You know, a person like Hanan, trying to make sure
Oh yeah,
everybody knows
I heard
everything they
you.
could possibly know about Juneteenth, you
I
know?
heard that you guys connected. How did that go? And
Oh,
I'm so excited about the Juneteenth and celebrating with the coalition in the coming days.
absolutely, positively wonderful. Every year I do the same thing. I try to dedicate the entirety of June to Juneteenth, arts and ideas, or being part of the New Haven Coalition. And it always ends up being different every year. That's what I like about it. So like it depends. I'll say who's on tomorrow, and then it just turns into a show. So now I have this here, and then I have another pre-record. So I'm gonna get 2 weeks off before we, my daughter graduates, and then I got all the stuff going on.
Congratulations to
Yeah,
her.
so I won't have to go to the now because of you. I won't have to go to the studio because your show is on today. So I can go. Okay, my daughter's graduating, literally when this when you guys while you guys are watching this, my daughter's graduating within 5 hours.
Wow,
So you guys
that's
can go ahead and watch
amazing.
it because my daughter's at rehearsal getting ready to graduate. So literally, your show will be playing as I celebrate, probably getting some sleep because her daughter will be at school for a little while. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. Sleep right up into it because I did some work with that. And it's funny because I'm looking at your questions and I'm saying you pretty much covered a lot of it, but there's one important thing because it always comes down to mental health. And I really like that. What's a story or article? Wikimedia, a Wikimedia contributor in the Afro crowd community that stuck with you emotionally? Because whatever it is had to be pretty good with all the information you must touch.
There's so many, but um, well, let me tell you a story.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, one of the great things that happens, um,
Uh-huh.
sometimes you meet somebody who, oh, you want me to hold on?
No, my brother was going out the door.
Okay.
All right, my brother was going out the door. I didn't want the beep, 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 beep in the background. No,
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Some now I meet a lot of people, but I've always met a lot of people. I really am an extrovert at my
Mm-hmm.
core.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we've, like I said, gone all over the world. We have liaisons in Nigeria, in
Mm-hmm.
Benin. We've run work in Ghana, Caribbean, connected with folks in India, Europe, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that I think have touched me the most have been right here in and when I say here, I mean the New York area in New York, where we started from, and comes in the body of someone you might actually know. Her name is Linda Fletcher,
Mm-hmm.
also known as the De Dabo.
Mm-hmm.
And she is our community liaison in New York, and she's also does a lot of things with seniors, as she is one herself.
Mm-hmm.
She and I share a birthday. Well,
Mm-hmm.
okay, 24 hours. She's one day different from me.
Okay.
Though we occupy different decades for our births.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Linda joined afroCROWD as just a regular person who walked in the door wanting to learn something,
Mm-hmm.
new skills. She's actually how I got to know so many people in the Juneteenth Coalition and others as well.
Mm-hmm.
Linda has a thirst for knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
and she's constantly finding new things that she wants to learn, and
Mm-hmm.
that's whether it's with us or otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
But Linda, she started as a regular participant. Like I said, everybody brings something, and different people bring lived knowledge as well. Like you were around when this notable person that you're writing about was active.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so Linda decided to participate, but she also continued beyond that. She
Mm-hmm.
started wanting to show other people how to do what she's learning. So
Mm-hmm.
the trainers that we did, she took that to another level and
Mm-hmm.
started to connect with her friends.
Mm-hmm.
And from that, and also wanted to participate even more in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So she eventually um, became a wiki coach.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we call folks who want to teach others what they've learned in
Mm-hmm.
their journey in Wikipedia, um, knowledge, education, etc., wiki coaches, because that's
Mm-hmm.
really what it is. You're teaching what you know, and helping other people on their journey to learn as well.
Well, I'm looking coach then. I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah, and by the way, anyone who supports afroCROWD, whether you just jive with the idea, you're an afroCROWDer,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um,
I ain't got
so
no problem with that right there.
and you become a Wikipedian by getting
Mm-hmm.
an account on Wikipedia. It's not even about how many years you've been doing it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So um, Linda decided to get involved, and we even had her speak at one of our events.
All right.
Um, not only with us and helping to represent us, but also what we do every year, we celebrate Wikipedia's birthday, and which happens to be the same day that we also celebrate Martin Luther King Day.
Okay.
Um, January 15th happened to be when Wikipedia was founded in 2001.
Okay. I think I saw that on Google. You know, how Google has some things in whatever the date is. I think I've seen that before. Like,
Yeah, isn't that a coincidence? But for
yeah.
us, it's meaningful.
Hmm.
Um, And so when you say something that's touched you, what
Hmm.
touches me is that people like her who have a thirst for knowledge, for learning something
Hmm.
new, who don't allow uh, who go beyond what's a
Hmm.
lot of times society might expect
Hmm. Hmm.
from them. She's a technologist because she has that interest. It doesn't matter her
Yes.
age,
Yes.
just her interest. We have people who have been professors, who have we work with a lot of librarians,
Hmm.
and of course, technologists and developers and so forth.
Hmm.
But it's really what you bring that you want to add, a way that you see that you might be interested in that you can
Of course.
contribute. So if you're interested in history and you happen to love learning about your neighborhood,
Hmm.
or there are people who are interested in food, or are fans of a particular person. There's so many different ways that you can to go at it.
Anything and everything. That's why I always say
Anything and everything.
anybody
Yeah.
that wants to know anything, anywhere, can find it everywhere as they're looking for everything with everyone.
Exactly. And to bring it back to Juneteenth,
Hmm.
we were just at the flag raising in New Haven. And soon the Juneteenth Coalition will be holding events, I believe, from the
Hmm.
17th onward. And of course, on the
Hmm.
19th, there's going to be a hip hop
Hmm.
conference that's happening
Yeah.
in New Haven. We're going
I
to
was the
be
one
there.
behind you with the gray hair.
Yeah,
I was next to
yes,
you.
yes.
I was next to you.
Yes. So you know what I'm talking about. And
Yeah.
so we're going to be there. We're going to be documenting things, taking photos, and showing folks how to use their photography on Wiki and get
Hmm.
it featured in an article, or at least on lists. And
Hmm.
so if someone is looking for their their um, their work, they can find it. They could give it to the lexicon. But
Hmm.
also, we'll be showing folks how to get started with, um, you know, inputting information,
Hmm.
um, and just the different things you can do. There's going to be a huge conference, regional conference coming to New York City, which is
Hmm.
just around the corner
Hmm.
in October. Um, and we want as many folks in your listening audience to be involved
Of
as
course.
possible. Everyone's
Please.
welcome.
How can
There's going to be
everybody
lots
find
of
you? We got about
what's that?
5 more minutes. We
Okay.
have about 5 more minutes, and I want to take a moment to I want people to know how to reach you. Well, of course,
Yes.
you can come to our Juneteenth event. That's one way.
Yes.
But in general, for this broadcast, they can get in touch with and become what am I a wiki what?
Wikipedians.
Yeah, a
They're already
Wikipedia.
Afrocrowders if they are
Yeah,
into what they just
you
heard.
are an afroCROWDer. Okay,
Yes.
we are no
An
longer web
Afrocrowder Wikipedian.
surfers. Remember web surfers? That's what we used to be. There's too much now, so now we have to be on the wiki train.
I like that. I like that, the way you said that. Um, AfroCrowd.org is the first step.
Hmm.
They can go to afrocrowd.org to reach out to us.
Hmm.
Um, we have an about page and we have a connection page where you can leave us a message. You can contact me. I'm Sherry at afrocrowd.org.
Hmm.
But generally speaking, if you just want to follow what we're doing and things like that, you can
Hmm.
see us on Twitter. We're still there. We're at AfroCrowdIT.
Hmm.
And then everywhere else, we're at AfroCrowd. So on
Hmm.
Instagram, Blue Sky Social, Facebook. We're going to Mastodon soon, and we're going to try and just occupy
Oh.
things. And finally, if you go on Wikipedia, just look us up,
Mm-hmm.
afroCROWD. And we have several pages. One is on Wikipedia General. We
Mm-hmm.
have one on what's called Meta, which has to do more with the programming of the Wikimedia
Mm-hmm.
Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And but if you go on Google and you just Google afroCROWD, you'll find us that way as well. And
Yes.
finally, if you go on YouTube, this I think would be the most useful for a lot of folks who are more visual learners or audio,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
is go to afroCROWD on YouTube. So just look up afroCROWD Wikipedia or
Mm-hmm.
afroCROWD, and you'll see
Same way
our
you look up my show.
tutorials there. Yes, exactly. And you can hashtag today too. I think MarceyLynn afroCROWD would work to find information.
Listen.
Um, and finally, if you are just looking for information on how to do things, want to kind of catch up on some of the things that we talked about today, and you go
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube, YouTube afroCROWD
Mm-hmm.
tutorials, and it'll
Mm-hmm.
give you how things are done, a little bit of our background. And from there, it usually pulls over to some of our other videos as well. We've been in the
Mm-hmm.
New York Times, The Guardian,
Yes.
Forbes. We've also been featured in,
And the page is phenomenal, like just the pictures and just
yeah,
the
there's
way
so
it's
much.
linked together. The apps, the website's amazing. The website
Oh,
is
you're talking about us. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We actually have been working with artists
Mm-hmm.
along the way, and a pretty awesome artist helped to put some of that together.
Mm-hmm.
So I really think there's a lot of fun things that people have to discover.
Yes.
But the main part is the first step, which is giving it a shot and just
Give it
checking
a
it out.
shot. Let's
Yeah, I
do
mean,
this.
you have nothing to lose.
I can't wait to see you again. I'm gonna be like, see, now you
I
remember me. I
can't
got my
wait
hair
to come
on.
back. This was a lot of fun. I hope I didn't there's so
No,
much
no,
to
no.
learn.
Listen, this is why I have you do the questions because by that time you answered most of them because you just know where I'm gonna go, and then at the same time, as I sit on the couch, we're on the couch just learning about it, and I appreciate you having take the time with me, even though it's Thursday technically, my daughter's graduation day, but
I'm so
just
happy for all the
finally
graduates and for
got
your
it.
daughter
done.
especially.
Yes, yes, yes. It's just amazing, amazing. But
Congratulations.
I really think that the resources that you are providing, I want to be involved with. So, as if I got enough time for anything else, but we will talk. But you guys know you can ask me any questions. I'll go on the show later, and you just go to MarceyLynn once again on YouTube and put in whoever you want to see. Like in this instance, you would put MarceyLynn once again and start with Sherry. I've I think I
Mhm.
only had one other Sherry on, but it will come up with the first Sherry. So just look for the green shirt, the earrings, whatever you need to look for, and you'll know that's the show. Sherry, I thank you so much for your time, and I can't
I
wait to
thank
see
you so
you.
much.
And we definitely have to have this conversation more because I think people don't even really understand that they have something so brilliant at their fingertips. It's a resource. A person like
Mhm.
me that they call a serial entrepreneur will be using it on a regular basis.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. And thank
Of
you
course,
also
of
for
course. We will definitely be
your
getting through
audience.
Juneteenth, and then we'll be moving on to things that we need to do as far as AfroCrowd is concerned. Because I
Yay.
really have some ideas that, yeah, I'm one of those. I'll shoot you an idea, and you'll be like, I didn't hear from her 3 months after she shot that idea at me.
One thing
All right.
I'd love to say in closing is
In closing,
Juneteenth celebrates knowledge, because without knowledge, they wouldn't know that they were already free.
see, see, and the ones that knew shared it.
Hmm. So knowledge
Right.
literally,
Mhm, mhm,
literally,
mhm.
literally
Let's
was
start
power.
there. Let's
Yep.
start there. Thank you again. I'll see
Thank
you
you.
soon.
You too.
Praise goes up, blessings come down. I need a blessing right now. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
You're listening to MarceyLynn once again on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home